Hello, my name is Torsten Talvel, and welcome to episode number 43. Title of this episode is Why Do New Year's Resolutions Not Work? I don't know. Actually, I do know, and that's what I'm going to talk about this episode. So it's really interesting because I know a lot of people, this is New Year's, it's a few days after. We talk about, what we'd like to create. It's often, very much a time of reflection, looking back at the year. Maybe people don't. I do. I reflect often. And so it's kind of this period of time where people often take the time to look back and see what their year was like. And it's often a time of year where people look forward and want to celebrate a new year and look at what the new year can bring and what they would like to do. And so you get, your list of things, your New Year's resolutions. So what is it that you're going to use? What are you going to do this year? What do you want to create this year? And you have these places where you really look at, okay, so what am I resolving to create different now that it's the new year? And so it's funny because it's probably different depending on what your New Year's resolution is. For some people, it will be, I know a lot of people talk about exercise, that they, want to do something different, that they want to maybe go to the gym, they get a membership, it lasts a couple of weeks or less, or maybe a month or something like that, and then it tapers off. Or it might be, going to do yoga or something like that. And so what's interesting, it's you have what really shows up for a lot of people is you have this place where you're like, okay, I'm going to be, you're really excited. I'm going to change this. I'm going to do it. Yeah. And you go doing it. And then, something happens and then you end up stop doing it. And this is not just pertaining to New Year's resolutions. This is pertaining to all kinds of things in your life. Like it's really interesting because this may be this can happen at any time, and with often it can happen often in your life too. So what can you do to change it? What can you do to make a New Year's resolution stick? Well, first I'm going to talk a little bit more about the whole aspect of when it stops working, or this whole thing about it not continuing. So what really happens a lot of times, and I'm going to use the exercise thing as an example. So you're like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to use the gym as an example here, just to make it easy. And so you go to the gym, and if you haven't been to the gym in a while, it's not super fun usually the first few times, or first time's usually fine. The second time, you're hurting a little bit, maybe the third time. And so the motivation to continue, initially, a lot of people stop really quickly, because what happens is you're excited, you go do it, your body starts hurting, it becomes less fun, and you don't actually see any change. You don't see the change, and your body starts to hurt, and you're like, I'm just not going to go today. And you never get to the point where you see the change starting to happen. Especially, because it takes you a while. Maybe it will take you a couple of weeks, or, a couple or a few weeks. Then you might start noticing some things. You might start noticing, I'm getting a bit stronger. I can do more. I'm not as tired. I don't hurt as much. That kind of thing. So things change. Your body starts changing. It shows up in a different way, and so on. So it takes some time for the change to start showing up. And so a lot of people stop before that point. That's the main thing. Like, you don't see any change, nothing's changing. It seems like a lot of work for no reason. So why would I continue? For what reason would I continue? Because I don't see anything changing. And so that's kind of one of the things that one of the reasons why people don't continue. And this can happen in all kinds of places in your life. It's not just, I just use the physical exercise as something, and going to the gym because it's a simple one. People can get that. But it can pertain to all kinds of things. It can pertain to asking questions. It can pertain to checking in with yourself about whether something is still working for you or not. And always being in that question and so on. It can pertain to that too. So it's not just something physical necessarily. So these are these are sort of the main points why people don't go. And so another one too is that you end up you don't see the change, and so sometimes it'll take a while for that change to show up. And then the other thing is that there's no accountability to yourself, or the incentive isn't there. And whatever that incentive has to be, I don't know what it is for you. It's going to be different for everyone. And so you're just kind of like, well, I'm just going to stay in bed, or I'm not going to go to the gym today. And so that's it. And then you're done. And then from that point to like start up again is probably going to be a big ask for you at that point. And so, cool. So what can you do to change that? What can you do different? What can you play with that would create something different? Well, there's a few things, and I'm going to touch on 2 to 3 things in particular. Number 1 is when you actually have a New Year's resolution, tell people. And what that does is it creates a larger accountability for you when you tell other people that you're going to be doing something. And if you're going to say to them, tell them exactly what you're planning on doing. I can use the gym example. I'm going to go to the gym twice a week, every week. And so when you tell people, and I mean, don't just tell one person, tell a lot of people. And what that does is they may ask you at some point, oh, so how's it going? Are you still going to the gym? How is that going for you? How's that working? You know, how are your workouts are going? Are they changing? You know, whatever. And so it becomes a piece of conversation. And it also holds you more accountable to like, I've made this commitment to myself, and by telling other people, it enhances the commitment, and I kind of hold, other people will hold you more accountable to it, opposed to if you make it and you don't tell a single person. So that's one thing. The other thing is to actually write down what your New Year's resolution is, or whatever your target is. Write it down. I know a lot of people write it down, but there's something more to it. So when you write it down, and combined with, and this is probably number 3, is actually have it somewhere noticeable, where you see it daily. It can be on the door of your bedroom as you leave, or on the door of your bathroom, or somewhere in your room, or wherever, someplace that you will go every day, and you will encounter this, and you'll write it down on a piece of paper and you'll stick it on the wall. And what that does is it reminds you of what you have chosen to create and change and commit to, whatever that New Year's resolution is. And then the other thing that I would play with and look at is like, when you actually, if it's a continual thing, like going to the gym, what is it that you're looking to actually get out of it? So if you're looking to go to get a gym, obviously some people are like, I want to get into shape, I want to, get fit or whatever, but what is it? Like, what is the actual target opposed to just going to the gym every day. Because for most people, that probably won't cut it if they haven't been going to the gym. I mean, some people love going to the gym, so for them, it's like, yay, I get to go to the gym today, you know? So it's different for different people, but if it's something that you haven't been doing and it's something that you're actually choosing at doing, what is the actual target? Like, where are you looking to get? And that's for any New Year's resolution. Whatever it is that you're choosing, maybe it has to do with relationship, maybe it has to do with work, maybe it has to do with your business, whatever your targets are, and you maybe have different ones. Look at what you're looking to actually create. Like, what is your New Year's resolution and what does it actually look like? And if you were to actually attain it, what is that? And write it down. And do write it down. Write it somewhere in a journal or something like that. But do make a point of writing that down as well as what your resolution is, your New Year's resolution. And then have the New Year's resolution and stick it up somewhere so you can see it. So these 3-4 things will actually create something different. And what it does is it ups the level of you committing to you. Because really that's what these New Year's resolutions are really about. They're about you committing to you. And really, how committed are you to changing? And actually, what do you have to lose to do that? Like, to choose something different. You basically have to lose nothing. There is nothing to lose. And so that's another thing to be aware of. It's like, we choose things because, you know, we think got to change or whatever. And, you know, it's really scary. And, oh my God, what if I choose it? And it's like, well, by choosing, you don't have anything to lose. It's actually in your favor, essentially, to keep choosing whatever this New Year's resolution is. And look at what you can do to make it fun, because you know what? If it's fun, or you can make it fun in some way. So I'm going to just give a little insight for myself. So I've chosen something. It's not really a New Year's resolution because I started about a month ago. But I was not doing as much physical activity. And so I decided to run every second morning. Now, I miss the odd morning, but I've been pretty consistent pretty much every second morning. I've been doing it enough now that I've been noticing some change. I've actually lengthened it slightly, and I've noticed that, you know, generally speaking, my speed is picked up as well to some degree. And so what's interesting is I actually didn't tell anyone. And for me, the motivational aspect of it wasn't a problem. I don't like running particular, actually. I don't really enjoy it. But it's been kind of fun. And I've been actually enjoying getting out every morning. And even if it's pouring rain, like it was this morning when I went for a run, I still go. I dress accordingly, and I do get wet. But it's cool because I've noticed the change, and it's been good. And for me, what it does is my body actually does require to move regularly, and if it doesn't, I kind of get hyper or grumpy. So it is a total contribution to me to do that, and it's not a huge stretch for me to do it either. It's not a super cumbersome thing for me either. It's not a big deal. It's not like something I hate. I don't have a lot of problems with getting up in the morning and just, you know, going for a run. It's not a big deal to me. So I will continue doing it. And I've noticed the changes, and they're great. And I will continue doing it. And, you know, at different times of years, I do different activities. Now that the winter is here, I do some cross-country skiing and so on. So that's just a little bit of what I've chosen. And for me, it hasn't been a New Year's resolution. It's just something I chose to change. And I also don't use the new year as a time to make new resolutions. I basically look at things regularly and then look at, okay, so what do I want to change here? What do I have to do different to create the results or create the target that I'm looking to create? So my New Year's resolutions really show up regularly. And giving you just that example of doing exercise the other day, I just kind of started choosing to do it. I also have a kind of daily routine that I do, which is also helpful, super helpful for keeping me focused and keeping me sort of in the energy of what it is that I'm looking to create. And so it's playing with that. So now you get to play with what you want to choose. And if you haven't chosen anything, maybe this is the time to just choose something. And it can be something very small that you'd like to create more of, that you'd like to create some sort of change in your life. And I really do encourage New Year's resolutions if you don't have anything currently going on in your life. It is an opportunity and a time to celebrate and to look at change and look at where you can change. And so I do actually think New Year resolutions are amazing and awesome, because it is a reminder of like, hey, we can change something, and you don't need to wait till New Year's to do it. But now that we're here, you might as well choose looking to play with that. And what else is possible with this, and what else, what change can happen in your life by committing to you and using some of these really simple tools to create that change, and using the excuse of New Year's to create it. So why not? So thank you so much for joining in and watching, and let me know what your New Year's resolution is. I'm just going to say mine is just to continue doing what I'm doing as far as keeping up my running every second morning. And what is yours? Yours might be something small, might be something big. Love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again next week. Talk to you later. Bye.